deep in the jungle. In an undisclosed location. Dread Comics is proud to present the 1943 movie serial, The Phantom. The Phantom is an American adventure comic strip, first published by Lee Falk in February 1936. The main character, the Phantom, is a fictional costumed crime fighter who operates from the fictional African country of Bengala. The character has been adapted for television, film and video games. The series began with a daily newspaper strip on February 17, 1936, followed by a color Sunday strip on May 28, 1939. Both are still running as of 2020. In 1966, King Features stated that The Phantom was being published in 583 newspapers worldwide. At its peak, the strip was read by over 100 million people daily. Falk worked on The Phantom until his death in 1999. Since his death, the comic strip has been written by Tony DePaul. Since 2016, it has been drawn by Mike Manley, Monday to Saturday, and, since 2017, Jeff Weigel, Sunday. Previous artists on the newspaper strip include Ray Moore, Wilson McCoy, Bill Ligmant, Cy Berry, George Allison, Keith Williams, Fred Fredericks, Graham Nolan, Eduardo Barreto, Paul Ryan, and Terry Beatty. In the strip, the Phantom was 21st in a line of crime fighters which began in 1536, when the father of British sailor Christopher Walker was killed during a pirate attack. Swearing an oath on the skull of his father's murderer to fight evil, Christopher began a legacy of the Phantom which would pass from father to son. Nicknames for the Phantom include the Ghost Who Walks, Guardian of the Eastern Dark and the Man Who Cannot Die. Unlike many other superheroes, the Phantom has no superpowers. He totally relies on his strength, intelligence and the myth of his immortality to take action against the forces of evil. The 21st Phantom is married to Diana Palmer. They met while he studied in the United States and they had 2 children, Kit and Hello Eyes. He has a trained wolf named Devil and a horse named Hero, and like the 20 previous Phantoms he lives in the ancient Skull Cave. The Phantom was the first fictional hero to wear the skin-tight costume which has become a hallmark of comic book superheroes, and was the first shown in a mask with no visible pupils, another superhero standard. Comics historian Peter Coogan has described the Phantom as a transitional figure, since the Phantom has some of the characteristics of pulp magazine heroes such as the Shadow and the Spider and earlier jungle heroes such as Tarzan, as well as anticipating the features of comic book heroes such as Superman, Batman, and Captain America. After the success of Mandrake the Magician, King Features Syndicate tasked Falk to develop a new feature. His first effort was to write and draw a strip about King Arthur and his knights. When King Features rejected the strip, Falk developed the Phantom, a mysterious, costumed crime fighter. He planned the first few months of the story, and drew the first 2 weeks as a sample. Fascinated by myths and legends, such as King Arthur and El Cid, and the modern fictional characters Zorro, Tarzan and the Jungle Book's Mowgli, Falk envisioned the character as wealthy playboy Jimmy Wells by day and the crime-fighting Phantom by night. During his first story, The Singh Brotherhood, before disclosing that Wells was the Phantom, Falk changed the setting to a jungle and made the Phantom an apparently mortal, mythic figure. Thinking that there were already too many characters called the Phantom, including the Phantom Detective and find a name he liked better and decided to stay with the Phantom. In the A&E American cable TV documentary The Phantom, comic strip Crusader 12, Falk explained that Greek busts inspired him to knit the Phantom's pupils when the character was wearing his mask. He incorrectly believed that ancient Greek busts had no pupils, they were painted on originally and faded with time, which he said gave them an inhuman, awe-inspiring appearance. 9. In an interview for Comic Book Marketplace, Falk said the Phantom's skin-tight costume was inspired by Robin Hood, who wore tights in films and on stage. Falk was a Shakespeare enthusiast and the comic included several references to Shakespeare. These include the third Phantom playing Juliet in the original premiere of Romeo and Juliet, as well as marrying Shakespeare's niece. The Phantom began as a daily strip on February 17, 1936 with the Singh Brotherhood, written by Falk and drawn by him for 2 weeks and then by Ray Moore, assistant to artist Phil Davis on Mandrake the Magician. That year, The Phantom was serialized in the Australian Woman's Mirror. A Sunday Phantom strip was added on May 28, 1939. During World War II, Falk joined the Office of War Information, where he became chief of the Radio Foreign Language Division. Moore also served during the war and left the strip to his assistant, Wilson McCoy. When Moore returned, he worked sporadically on the strip until 1949, when McCoy succeeded him. During McCoy's tenure, The Phantom appeared in thousands of newspapers worldwide and was smuggled by boat into Nazi-occupied Norway during the war. Phantom was a password for the Norwegian resistance movement. McCoy died unexpectedly in 1961. Carmen Infantino and Bill Ligmant, who later drew several Phantom stories for comic books, filled in before a successor was found in Siberia. 21. During Barry's early years, he and Falk modernized the strip, laying the foundation for what is considered the Phantom's modern look. Under Barry, Bengal became a democracy and the character of President La Mandaluyga was introduced. Barry worked on the Phantom for over 30 years until his 1994 retirement, drawing a total of about 11,000 strips. His longtime assistant George Allison remained on the strip as penciler, with Keith Williams inking the daily strip. The Sunday strip was inked by Eric Dosher until Fred Fredericks succeeded him in 1995. Falk continued to script the Phantom and Mandrake until his death on March 13, 1999. His last daily and Sunday strip stories, Terror at the Opera and The Kidnappers, were finished by his wife Elizabeth after her husband pulled off his oxygen mask in the hospital to dictate the storyline. After Falk's death, King Features cooperated with European comic publisher Egmont, publisher of the Swedish Phantom and magazine, which changed from publishing Phantom stories in comic book format to providing the newspaper strip as well, by adapting their own Phantom comic book stories into the strip format. Phantom and writers Tony DePaul and Claes Reimurthy alternated as writers of the newspaper strip after Falk died, with DePaul handling the daily strips and Reimurthy the Sunday ones. DePaul would later become the strip's sole writer. Some stories were adapted from those originally published in Phantom N. In 2000, Allison and Fredericks retired from the Sunday strip. It was continued by comic book artist Graham Nolan, who had drawn 3 Phantom N covers. In early 2005, Allison and Williams left the daily strip after Allison retired, and artist Paul Ryan, who had worked on the Phantom and comic stories and had been a fan of the character since childhood, took over the daily strip. Ryan succeeded Nolan as artist on the Sunday strip in 2007. On July 31, 2011, Eduardo Barreto became the Sunday page artist. He died after only a few months, and Ryan temporarily took over the Sunday page again on January 15, 2012, which featured a memorial to Barreto. Ryan also did the following week's strip, before Terry Beatty became Barreto's replacement. Ryan died at his home unexpectedly on March 7, 2016. Mike Manley succeeded Ryan as artist on the Phantom, beginning with a strip dated May 30, 2016. Beatty stepped down as Sunday artist in 2017, and was replaced by Jeff Weigel. The Phantom is a 1943 Columbia Pictures 15-chapter black-and-white cliffhanger superhero serial, produced by Rudolph C. Flatow, directed by Reeves Eason, and starring Tom Tyler in the title role. It is based on Lee Falk's comic strip The Phantom, first syndicated to newspapers in 1936 by King Features Syndicate. The serial also features Jeanne Bates as the Phantom's girlfriend Diana Palmer, and Ace the Wonder Dog as the Phantom's trusty German Shepherd Devil, who is a wolf in the original comic strip. Professor Davidson plans an expedition to find the lost city of Zoloz. The location of the city is contained on 7 pieces of ivory, 3 of which Davidson already possesses. Dr. Bremmer, however, intends to find the lost city and use it as a secret airbase for his unnamed country. To remove him as an obstacle, He kills the Phantom, only for his recently returned son, Geoffrey Prescott, to inherit the family identity and take over the mantle of the Phantom. 3 of the remaining ivory pieces are owned by Singapore Smith, who initially steals Davidson's pieces. The 7th, and most important, piece is missing at first but turns up in the possession of Tartar, which the Phantom acquires by wrestling Tartar's pet gorilla. The Phantom starred Tom Tyler as both Geoffrey Prescott and the Phantom. Jeanne Bates would play Diana Palmer. Like most serials, the Phantom had a low budget. Most of the serial was filmed in the Hollywood Hills, which doubled as the African jungle. For the serial, the Phantom's real name is Geoffrey Prescott. In the comic strip, his real name had not yet been introduced. 1. The Phantom's real name was eventually introduced into the comic strip as Kit Walker. The Phantom tells Singapore Smith to call him Walker when he covers his costume with a hat, dark glasses, and an overcoat so he can enter civilization unobtrusively. And now, Dread Comics is proud to present The Phantom 1943 serial. Chapter 14. The Lost City.
The Lost City of Zoloz before any of the others, Byron sneaks away from the expedition in the dead of night. The Phantom picks up his trail, which leads directly into Dr. Bremmer's hideout.
Now, don't waste my time being indignant. Just answer my question. Where's the Phantom?
He was with the safari when I left.
Does he know the way to Zoloz, too?
Sure. Tartar made him a present of the 7th key showing the exact location of this place. Probably the Phantom and Davidson are on their way now.
Marson, you and Watson stand guard outside. Chris, take Scott and Rocco and look through the tunnels. Hurry up now.
Well, here's where we leave you. Okay, if you see anybody outside, come in and get us. We'll be in the catacombs.
Now, look. I want to know what made you run out on the safari.
I wanted to be the first to see the treasure.
What you mean is that you figured to hide it before your friends could get here.
All right. Didn't want to be left out in the cold.
Well, you've got possibilities. Too bad you're not a mining engineer. That's what I really need. As it is, I'm afraid you know too much. Go on, get rid of them, Long.
Wait. I may be of use to you.
You?
Yes. If you need an engineer, I may be able to help you find one.
Now, don't tell me
Professor Davidson's one.
Davidson?
Yes. He studied mining engineering to help him solve archaeological excavation problems.
Well, say, maybe we can talk business after all. Go on, sit down again, Byron. So Davidson studied engineering, huh?
peeled out here. Watch that trail.
The Phantom. You're in the wrong territory, ain't you? Lift his guns. Take care of the man who never dies. Yeah, I'll say. Take a look at Watson. Well, Watson's done for. Give me a hand with Scott. Open that door. Put some slugs in the Phantom and sink faster.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How do you like it down there?
He's got a slug in his chest. The Phantom drilled him.
The Phantom? And you let him get away?
We certainly didn't. Marston and I pushed him down that hidden cistern.
Get out there, quick. Look out, you'll hit Marston. Give me a hand. Nice work, fella.
You take care of Marston, I'll get that dog.
What's all the shooting about?
Get back. The Phantom will drill you.
The Phantom?
Maybe he's run out of ammunition.
Let's close in on him.
Don't be a sap. You stay here and guard this tunnel.
Now remember, I'm expecting...
Hey, Doc. We sure got the Phantom in a pocket. He's trapped in that dead-end tunnel.
I thought he drowned in that old cistern.
He must have gotten out of that somehow, but he's a sure goner now.
I'll take your word for that when I see it. And anyway, how do I know he won't get away again?
Oh, relax, Doc. If he tries to get out, he runs smack into Long's gun barrel.
All right, I'll take your word for it. Now, Byron, the sooner you get Davidson and his niece into the catacombs, the better it's going to be for you.
Well, the safari can't be far away. I'll have him here before you know it.
Hey, Martian.
You sure you ain't taking a chance trusting that guy?
I am. Greed is stronger than fear in some people. Don't forget, Byron wants to get in on that treasure.
By the way, Doc,
Where is this buried treasure?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. We've been digging around here for a long time, and so far we've uncovered nothing but a bunch of mummies and skeletons.
I know that, and personally, I think the treasure's just in Byron's mind.
But why keep the professor and his niece around here?
Why? Davidson's a mining engineer as well as an archaeologist.
He is?
Yes, and I'm sure he'll be glad to help us professionally with our excavation, as long as we hold the girl.
That's what I call getting an expert cheap.
Now, Morrison, I want you and Chris to act as a reception committee when Byron gets back here with Davidson and Miss Palmer. Treat them very nice. Show them all the sights and then lock them up in the catacombs.
But why keep Byron around here?
We'll disillusion him later. And get rid of Watson's body before Davidson and the girl get here.
The prodigal returns.
Professor, I want to tell you how sorry I am for deserting you the way I did. I'm glad the Phantom made me return.
Well, why didn't he come with you?
He's waiting for us there in the catacombs. Mokul, the Phantom says for you and the porters to camp here.
Moko understand. We may camp back in jungle. The how? What?
I'll show you the way, Diana.
Here he comes with the old man and the girl.
Yeah. Byron is the kind that would double-cross his own mother, if you paid him for it.
Yeah. Come on.
Here's the main cavern. You know where that is?
Yeah.
And there's the tunnel leading off to the right. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Put your charge right there, just inside the passage to the gallery overlooking the catacombs. Well?
It worked out all right. Byron's got him on the way to the catacombs now.
Good. If you want me, I'll be with Drake in the gallery above the catacombs.
Well, what do you think of it, Professor?
It's amazing. See, Diana, here is an influence strikingly similar to my own.
I suppose so. You know, there's something about this place that frightens me.
Nonsense, my dear. It's just the reaction from all the excitement.
I'm sure you'll feel quite differently as soon as you've seen the Phantom.
My. Maze of tunnels.
Where do we go now?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. The catacombs are this way. Well, here we are.
Catacombs.
Only a very small portion of them, my dear.
It's awe-inspiring. Diana, come here and look at these hieroglyphics.
It's interesting, isn't it?
These are entirely different from either the Mayan or Egyptian.
You're here.
Yes, I'm glad I found you, but...
This is even more interesting than I expected.
Yes, Professor, but we have to get out of here right away.
Why? What's the rush?
But after all the trouble that we've gone to get
what
here...
about the treasure we came here to
Byron, there's a question I'd like to ask you.
Shut that door and bolt it.
It's certain we can't get out through this door.
Come on, Drake, hurry it up.
Hey, listen, with this kind of stuff, I'm taking my time.
What are we going to do?
I'll take a look up there. I might find a way out.
In the meantime, we'll take a look around here. Places like these are usually honeycombed with tunnels. We might find ones. Take a look around there, Professor.
Tell them there's no way out up here. But I go back and tell them there's no way out up here.
Any exit up there?
No, I'm afraid not.
That door through the tunnel seems the only way out of here.
And what are we going to do?
Well, nothing to do but wait and see what happens.
The Phantom's down there with the rest of them. How about letting me take a shot at him?
Certainly not. Let them all find out there's another exit up here. Hurry up with that charge.
I'm almost ready.
And we'll get out of here and let Drake finish his work. And make it good.
I'd like to see an ant crawl through here after the explosion.
By the way, how did you find your way here?
Byron showed us.
He said you were in the catacombs waiting for us, so we came with him.
That's a lie. I never saw him from the time he sneaked away until he came back with you now.
Talking about me won't help you any.
Put down that gun.
I'm working for a man now who isn't going to give all the Zoloz treasure to a university. Get back there, you.
You're a fool as well as a traitor.
I tricked you into coming here. I stopped you just long enough so you couldn't get out through that door. And now I'm leaving by a tunnel which I told you wasn't there.
You're crazy, I tell you. The man you're working for will kill you as soon as he's finished using you.
Yes? I'd rather take my chances with him than with you.
Oh, no, my dear. The Phantom will take care of himself.
As Davidson lost out after all he went through, will Dr. Bremmer and his gang of saboteurs now gain control of the jungle? You can't afford to miss Peace in the Jungle, the final episode of The Phantom, at this theater next week.